One guy we got to know when he was here in state and really, really liked him, always loved having him on the show when he was at Troy, is Coach Jon Sumrall. And when he took the Tulane job, we're like, crap, he's never going to come on the show anymore. But today he is back. Coach Sumrall with us. You're muted, Coach. Just unmute it real quick so we can say hello to you. And Coach is going to join us from down in New Orleans. There we go. You're back up. Welcome back, Coach. How you been?
I'm good. Appreciate you guys helping me with the technology here. I'm by no means an expert there. Glad to be with y'all, man. When I got the message from Jason Core, our SID here, I was like, I'm going to find a way to get on with these guys. Love visiting with y'all every time.
Well, we appreciate it. For those that don't know, Coach literally just ran off the practice field and jumped on to make this time work. So we greatly appreciate you doing that. You're coming here to town. We were talking about your schedule. You lost to Kansas State. You lost to Oklahoma. Those are tough games, obviously. But what did you learn about your team when you were sitting there at 1-2, but you had played two pretty good Power 5 programs there?
Yeah, we had taken, Kansas State was down to the wire. We're up 20-10 at half. We were tied 27-27 mid-fourth quarter, have an unfortunate turnover, get down 34-27, and then drive the length of the field and go back and have a chance to score at the end of the game. Had a offensive pass interference called on a touchdown we scored. Didn't count, then turned it over again right before at the end of the game. And so heartbreaking defeat against Kansas State. Went to Oklahoma, first road trip, young quarterback. We got down 21-0 before you could blink. And then in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left or 10 minutes left, we got the ball twice with an opportunity to take the lead. The score was 24-19. So we were able to fight back and find our way back into that game after playing about a quarter and a half of the worst football we could probably play. And so that stretch was tough. And I think then we had to go on the road to Louisiana Lafayette. Always a hard place to play. Heat index that day at Lafayette was 140-something. It was crazy. They had 20-something people. They ran out of water in the concession stand. They had like 20-something people that needed IVs in the stands. And so found to get a gritty win on the road there and then came back home last week and got a good win over South Florida. Every week in college football, man, you got to be prepared. And this team's tough. They're resilient. We're going to battle. We're still learning kind of who we are. We're young in some spots. We're starting a quarterback who had never played a college football snap and was a redshirt freshman right now. So, that's exciting. It's also a little scary early in the year, but I like the DNA of our team. I think we got a lot of fighters. I think we got a lot of grit, and we're going to show up.
I know it's year one for you, but I would assume, just knowing your personality from just having you on here, that the goal for you in year one was to get that automatic bid for the Group 5. And even going into the season, you knew Kansas State and Oklahoma were going to be difficult, and even losing those games, if you go 10-2, and I know the old cliche, one game at a time, and you've got some really tough opponents coming up, but I would assume the goal is still 10-2, and hey, let's get to the postseason. Yeah,
so our program goals, we go over our coaching staff manual every July. My staff absolutely loves it. It's their favorite day of the year. That's kind of sarcastic.
We got that. We caught it. Yeah.
We got to do the staff manual again. But no, in our program goals for the coaching staff this year, our goal number one was to win the state of Louisiana. And we only had two in-state foes this year. It was Southeastern Louisiana, Louisiana Lafayette. We won that. Goal number two is win the conference. And we're in the middle of trying to do that right now. We've got plenty of challenges that lie ahead. And goal number three for us is win the postseason, whatever that looks like. And in there is college football playoffs. So that's a goal. Goals for me, you guys know I've got an 11-year-old son. Every time I play him in basketball in the driveway, he loses. I like to win. And so we want to win every time we play. There's a reason they got electricity in the scoreboard. It's not just for the fun of it. The goal is to win. And so we've got to stay focused on what's right in front of us. We're not good enough to worry about what lies down the road in December or whatever. We got to be really good today and then have the best Friday in college football tomorrow. I love Fridays, and then go play a great game Saturday and just keep showing up each week. But our goals are still intact. And how all that other stuff plays out postseason wise, we'll see what happens. But we got to play good each week.
Speaking of Sam, it looks like he's grown 3 inches since the last time I saw him. Do you have him getting the tees off the field? Did I see a picture of that?
Yeah, man. So my guy got to go to Oklahoma, and my chief of staff threw him out there to go get the tee for the kicker. He's playing football. He's playing 5th grade football right now for his school, and he's playing slot receiver and DB nickel. So I'm actually going to watch his game tonight. I tell him he had to miss our Kansas State game because he had a game and he was pissed. Like I'm talking about pissed. And he was crushed. And I was like, hey, dude, don't worry. I'll make it up to you. And he didn't know what I had in the works. But I threw him on the team plane to go to Oklahoma. So 11-year-old getting to run in that environment and go get the tee off the field. Man, he's ate up with football as much as I am. He's on the drug called football, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you, his running style, that still shot photo, looks more receiver than DB, I'll be honest with you. Great form running a route.
That little dude can run. He's fast. I don't know where he gets it from. It must be his mama.
Tulane head coach Jon Sumrall with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. You still sip that Kentucky bourbon to celebrate a win?
There is no doubt, brother. Come on. Last week was Weller Special Reserve post game. So yeah, we every time we win a game, the staff gets a text and it just says bars open, and they know what that means. So after a win, doesn't matter, road, home, whatever, we show up, guys are welcome to come have a drink. So last week was Green Label Weller.
I know this sounds crazy, but have you even had an opportunity to explore the city you live in now? Because, you take the job and it's just such a blur. And it literally, you guys work 365 days a year with the portal and NIL and everything else. So, is it a legitimate question? Have you and the family, been able to go out and see New Orleans?
Some, we lived here before for 3 years. I was an assistant coach here. And so over a decade ago, so very familiar with the place. Love it here, man. The culture here is second to none. I mean, it's unbelievable. When I first got here, I got to take my son to a Saints-Falcons game, the one that Jameis didn't take the knee on the goal line. That was kind of fun to go watch that game. And then we got to go courtside for Pelicans, and my son got to stand in front of Zion for the national anthem. And I rode in the Mardi Gras parade. My wife did too. We're all in, man. We love the city, love the place, love everything about it. I tell me all the time, if you can't have fun here, you can't have fun. You're boring. And so I think, we find ways to mix it up and get out as much as we can. Now, the work's the work, and this time of the year, I don't exactly get out and explore the city a whole lot and trying to figure out how to win a game each week. And but, man, I think you got to, embrace where you are and love where you are, and could not be more pleased to be in the city of New Orleans and have all the culture stuff we have right at our fingertips right here.
I don't know how all the head coaches you worked for were. If they were really good to work for, if they were hard on their assistants and coordinators. But if I ask Joe Craddock right now, are you a good guy to work for? I mean, do you handle coordinators in a good way, the way you would want to be treated if you were in that position, or have you become one of those guys?
let me go grab Joe. We can just ask him. No, I think my guys would tell you, man, I'm intense. What you see is what you get. But at the end of the day, too, I'm very relational and I care about people. This game's about people. Everything's about people. And so I believe in being, from a leadership standpoint, transformational, not transactional. What can I do for you, not what can you do for me? Now, I want it to be for the greater good of our organization. And I'm very driven. I haven't really changed probably much from being an assistant. I'm the same guy, maybe to a fault at times. But now, it is kind of funny. I walk in the offensive staff room, the defensive staff room, and everybody sort of sits up now and they get quiet. And I'm like, man, I used to be one of the guys everybody used to just kind of shoot the breeze with. And now I do tell the environment in the room might change a little just because maybe I'm the head coach, but I hadn't changed, man. I empathize with what our assistants deal with. There's some NCAA rules I think we need to address to help our assistants. I think, we expanded this rule with analysts being allowed to coach on the field, which I think is the best thing for our game, because not everybody can coach, which everybody already kind of was coaching anyways, right? And now I think we need to do what basketball's done. Basketball's got 6 assistants, and any of them can go on the road and recruit at a time, but only 4 can go out at one time. So 4 of the 6 out at a time. Well, I think we should do the same thing in our game. We got 10 full-time assistants that are allowed to go recruit. What I think we need to do in our game is allow everybody to go recruit, but only allow 10 out at a time for quality of life. Because, you talk about Craddock and my defense coordinator, Greg Gasparotto, they both got young kids. Well, in the spring, football season's already a grind, and then in the spring they go out and recruit for 5 weeks. It's it'd be nice to be able to kind of tag out of 16, 17, 18 guys, go tag in and tag out and allow guys to go on the road 2 to 3 days a week. I mean, and that would take care of our guys' quality of life and their family time. And so I'm like last Saturday after the win, the staff gets the bars open text from me. The wives get the text from my wife, and it's like, hey, kids are welcome. Come swim. Like, we're a family, man. We got a very family environment. Sometimes you got to have tough love as a family, but we're always there for each other.
You guys rolling to Birmingham to take on UAB. Rough start for the Blazers, 3 consecutive losses, all by double digits. But going back, watching them against Arkansas and Fayetteville, they can be a difficult out. How well do you know Trent Dilfer, and what are you guys getting into this weekend in Birmingham?
Yeah, so Trent, I've gotten to know him better since joining this league. Good guy. They're talented, man. Like, that UAB team came here last year. At that time, Tulane had 3 wins, which we have right now. At that time, UAB had 1 win, which they have right now. And in the second quarter, the score is 20-7 with a few minutes left in the second quarter. All right. With less than a couple minutes left in the game last year, Tulane had clawed back in, and they were up 28-23 and had to score to put the game away on a 4th down play. Like, so it's gonna be a dogfight, man. They're good. They're talented. Like, went into Arkansas, I showed our team the scoreboard shot. I'm like, in our team meeting, I'm like, guys, these guys had Arkansas on the ropes. Like, so we're not good enough to just think we're going to show up anywhere and just win. This team, they got great quarterbacks. I've heard Zeno may be hurt. I don't know, but the backup Kitten has got a huge arm. I watched him when he was at Florida. The receivers are fast. The O-line's veteran. They got 3 seniors and 2 juniors starting the O-line. 2 senior tight ends. The running backs are good. The defense, they got a boatload of good transfers. Like, they're a really good football team. And I think their record doesn't show really what they're about talent-wise. And we've got to bring it, man. If we don't bring it, we'll get exposed.
Coach, we appreciate the time. That blue helmet over your right shoulder is the best helmet you'll wear. I love that thing right there.
Man, we got the coolest colors in college football, man. Yeah, that's fancy right there.
It is. It's a good helmet. Always great catching up with you, Coach. We wish you the best this year. We appreciate the time.
Thank y'all. Good chat and roll wave.
Take care. That is Coach Jon Sumrall, head coach, Tulane Green Wave. I love that guy, by the way.
Yeah,
love
I love that guy,
show.
too. We've talked about it. He's going to end up being a superstar.
Yeah.
Things to come at Tulane, and then we'll see what happens after that.